What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to your motivational mix for today. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Today's quote is, if you don't know your own value, somebody will tell you your value, and it will be less than your worth, by Bernard Hopkins. And we're going to go into value, and I'm going to give you a physical representation of what value is. The reason that this video came to me, today's video came to me, is because I was thinking about how we have value, but we don't necessarily know what it is. So how can I explain to people what value actually is and how to make their value go up and down? And something as simple as arithmetic for the schools in the middle school and elementary school level came to me. And so I'm going to show you a physical representation of why you know your value, and once you know your value, how to make it better. Okay? So hello. Hey, welcome to. I appreciate you being here. So we all have value, ladies and gentlemen. We are valuable creatures. Sometimes we don't know our value, and sometimes people tell us our value. And the cool thing is that even if somebody tells you your value, you don't know it at first, you can always go back later on and find your value. But you got to want it. You got to want to know what your value is. It's got to be important to you. So let's go ahead and talk about value. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a number on the board. This number is just going to represent our value. Okay, as simple as that. Okay. So our value in this particular situation is simple. Our value is just 5, okay? Now, the cool thing about 5 is that 5 is a physical representation of right now. It's a snapshot, because if you count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each time I say one of those numbers, that's a physical representation of it. That second, that's the number that I'm on. I can do things to this to make it go. Now, let me ask you a question though. So my number's 5. If I don't want to be 5 anymore, if I want to be more than 5, I have to give. I have to put some more value to it. See, the thing is, we think that just because we are who we are, we're automatically valuable, and that is true. But if we want more than we are, we must do what? We must add more value. And I even put the word more here, because that's more important than just the word value, because I've already got value. I've already got the value. I just need to add more value. So as simple as you are 5. You are what you are right now. 5 is a representation of 5 things, 5 items right here. You are a representation of who you are right now. It's here. Boom. How do you get more out of that? How do you become more, right? The only way to become more is to add more value. So if you're not willing to read books, if you're not willing to listen to audios, if you're not willing to watch videos that have substance and content, if you're not willing to talk to or seek out counsel because you already know everything, and by the way, if you know everything, then there's nothing you need to learn, and so you're perfect. And obviously that's not true. If you're not willing to find a mentor, if you're not willing to do extra work to get to the next level, then what we're actually adding here is nothing. And then we complain because our value is still the same and our lives are still the same. So when you add no value to your life, when you change nothing in your life, you give yourself no more value than you already had. That's important to know. So like I said, I'm just giving you a physical representation of what I keep trying to tell you. Why I keep reading books, why I do my videos, why I keep trying to expand and help and give information. Because I want to add something here. Because if I don't give you anything and you don't seek anything and you choose not to go after anything, you will be the same person till you die. We added value to ourselves. We started off at 0 as kids, and then we learned how to talk, and then we learned how to walk, and then we learned how to go to school and read and write, and then we learned all these different things, and we kept adding value, right? And so we keep adding value onto these things that we keep going after as children. But then we become adults, and all of a sudden we become adults, and we hit a certain path because we're adults now. We have the title adults. We stay stagnant. We don't seek outside of what our means are. We're not adding value with the people we're around. We're not adding value with the things that we put around. And we wonder why our lives aren't changing. And why we keep getting the same. And why you see people complaining about how they're consistently finding the same type of women. Well, what are you doing to change it? You could very well be the problem that you keep finding all these different women and men of different quality and caliber. It could be you, but that means you have to study it and understand that there's something greater than you. So let's go back to this here, okay? So let's say, for example, I decide I actually want to step up and I want to put more value to myself. I want to start adding in different books. I want to start reading. I want to start doing all these different things. As you add more value to yourself, your value increases. There is no way in the world to add nothing to your life and expect your life to increase. You get that, right? I hope that makes sense. That statement right there in itself is big. You cannot add nothing to yourself and expect your life to be better. It takes going the extra mile and doing something outside of where you're comfortable. At 5, I have 5 items. If I want 6 items, I have to get a 6th item. I have to get something physical, or not physical, I guess. You have to get something else to add value to what I want. And this is as simple as math. I added 5 plus 3 because I'm going to another level. I'm adding something else on, and now I'm an 8. My life has now got more value, okay? So now, for some of you guys that don't like math, you're not gonna like this too. So this is more math. We're going to more math. Now the only way to get more value, or to get better and to have a stronger, more powerful value, is to add more value, right? Whew, I'm about to break somebody right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. So the only thing is that as much as we add things to it, right? We're adding in the reading, we're adding in different thought, we're adding in different friends, we're finding a mentor, we're talking to people, we're listening to videos, we're doing things that are gonna take us to the next level. There's another way. There's only one more other way to add more value to who you are. Some of you have already figured out, some of you may not. Let's go ahead and go. You must get rid of or subtract negative things from your life. Now, some of you guys don't remember this math from middle school. That's why I said elementary and middle school math. In middle school, they teach you how to subtract negatives. So I have $5 in my bank account, and I'm going to get rid of the fact that I owe 2. So actually, what we used to do is we see 2 negatives together, positive, it becomes a happy face. I'm taking you back to elementary school math when I used to teach this. And now, the answer is 7. Well, actually, we'll use the same numbers. I'll go 3 here. Just so you can see that it equals the same thing. So wait a second. So I just told you to add more value. But another way to add value in a situation is to get rid of or subtract negative things from your life. I mean, the math is adding up. This is the math. I'm literally showing you how this actually works. Negative people, negative situations, how you talk to yourself, how you feel, the things you read. All these things are negative. Some of these things that you read, the news, presidential debates, arguing, anger, sadness, all these things are negatives. When you start to subtract the negatives, when I take away the negatives, I'm actually adding more value. This answer and this answer are exactly the same. Exactly the same. So what I need you to look at is this, ladies and gentlemen. You have a choice at any point in time. You can either add on some more positive stuff, or you can take away some of that negative crap that you're sitting on, that you're holding on to. And remember, at this point in time, you're holding on to it. You got to let it go. When you get rid of it or subtract it away, that negative, you end up with a positive, an upbringing. Both these numbers went up, right? Both of these numbers went up. But there's no way in the world, and this goes for subtraction or addition, because obviously 0 is not negative or positive, and it's both negative and positive. So you have 0 here. There's no way that you add nothing into your life or subtract nothing from your life and expect your value of life to go up. You want this life to go up, then you're going to have to put a little bit of work in. You're going to have to add a little bit. And even this adding in a 0.1 will take you further ahead than that's that one step I keep talking about. You take one step every single day for 365 days a year, then you are 365 days closer, or 365 steps closer to something else and further away from this right here that you want to get away from. Now, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do one more thing because I hope you guys understand the math. It's pretty simple here. I'm going to go ahead and work with this here. So this is you. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of zeros in our lives. Like I said, the TV, watching, when you turn on the Kardashians, how much value are you adding to your life? Do you think you're adding anything? I think you're adding 0. But that's a waste of our time. Now see, here's the other thing I didn't tell you about. If you decide, we'll go in the math zone. If you decide that you don't want to add anything to your life, and you don't want to add anything to your life, but people keep drawing off, or you keep giving of yourself in not a positive way, you're going to go down in value. And if you add in negative things to your life, you go down in value. So there's only one real way to go up in value. Add more value to your life. That is the only way for you to get more value out of life. Now, if you want to stay at 5, stay at 5. That's great. You're 5. This is not for the people who decide they want to be 5. This is for people who know they should be 8s, 10s, 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions. See, some of these people are sitting at 5, but they don't realize there's something much more than 5. You haven't taken the time to even look outside of the door of 5. All you know has been 5. Your family told you 5. And guess what? As you grow, ladies and gentlemen, you have the ability, as you grow and finding other people, you can add value to yourself just by adding value to somebody else too. This is your value. This is their value. You can always add more value. So that's all I want you to focus in on, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to give you a physical representation of what value actually is, and how at any point in time you can be a better person. You can have a better life. You can get better exchanges with people. You can do so much more when you give positive quality to people. When you take the time to invest in other people, that's when your value increases. You get what I'm saying? Don't let anybody tell you that you're only supposed to be a 5 when you know you're supposed to be something more. And it's been 12 minutes and I didn't realize it. It kind of went away from me. I appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Add value. Don't be a 5. Get more value. Your inner value is astronomical, but it is the outside forces that we go through every single day that tell us our value is not enough. And we actually act that way. So it's time to stop acting like you don't have enough value and realize that all you have to do is add the value that's already in you to who you are, let it be seen, and you'll start attracting more value. And you'll add exponentially 5s plus 5s plus 20s plus 30s plus 100s. And that's how you increase your value, by adding in the positive things around you, including friends. Keep in mind, friends can be both positive and negative. You can have a positive friend, you can have that one negative friend that only wants to complain about anything. Well, let's look at this 5. You find one friend who's worth 10 and you attach yourself to them. Now you are a 15. You find this one person here and you attach yourself to them. You are now a negative 5. They just took so much value away from you that you're not even positive anymore. How many people in your life do you know that are a negative number? I used to be a negative number, but I realized, wait a second, I'm down here in the dumps, man. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna start reading a book. Oh man, I'm gonna read another book. Oh man, I just attached myself to some other people. That right there is 6 plus negative 5, that's a 1. So I started to become a 1. Then I realized, wait a second, I'm not done yet. I have a lot more in me. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in some more. And as I continue to grow, I'm gonna add in more. And now I'm a positive number. And not only am I a positive number, my positive number is so strong right now, I'm gonna do this just for Dragon Ball Z fans. My power level is so strong right now, I'm over 9,000. And when I add value to somebody, when I connect with somebody, I add value to them. And here's the funny thing about it, is that even if I connect with somebody who's negative, my power level is so strong that if they even decide, oh, you can't see that, hold on one second. Let me go down a little bit more. All right, here, nope. Where are you? There we go. My power level is so strong down here that even if I connect with a negative person, my value in itself is still a positive number. So I want you to keep that in mind. Keep in mind who you're bringing around, what you're listening to. Hip-hop music, soap operas, everything on TV that's cheating, infidelity, cursing, negative people who complain a lot, people who pass out drunk at a bar. There's a lot of negative things out there that are going to take value from you. But if you're not strong enough to handle that, you're going to end up a negative person too. Make sure your level's high so that nobody, even if they try to take away from you, can take you down, because we need more people who are over 9,000. Dragon Ball Z reference. That's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with me 15 minutes. I hope you got something from this. Like I said, it comes to my heart. And thank you, Rhonda, hold on, Kristen, and some of the other people I talked to this weekend, and Star, and all these people I talked to that made me realize how much value I have, and that, you know, they actually watching and seeing. Oh, Justin and Mandy, and they're actually watching and looking, because, you know, sometimes at points in time I think that, you know, nobody's watching when I'm doing this and nobody cares. And I realize now that even when people aren't saying nothing, they're watching, they're looking, and they're utilizing the stuff I'm giving. And, you know, I have value, and my value's going up now. And as Rhonda says, I'm anointed, because I don't know where these videos come from, and they just come to me, and I just give them, and the words flow out of me. I don't have a script anywhere around me. I promise you, if I showed you my room right now, you'd be like, what in the world's going on? So I've been finding people who are adding value to me. And as I continue to do that, the Marlenes of the world, oh my gosh, Marlene and Steven alone, just magnificent people. Just getting with them, added value through them. Like, for example, I'm gonna show you this. This is really cool. When you find people who have value, and they add value into you, and you start sticking with them, they will bring on other people that they know who will also add value to you. So you've got all these people adding value to you, then how in the world are you expecting yourself to stay at a 5? Just keep it in mind, man. You guys are as great as you want to be. And it's all up to you on what you're gonna do with how great you want to be. So make a difference, make a move, add some value to yourself, and stop being a 5. Mentally, you cannot be a 5. You cannot say to yourself, I'm a 5. You cannot say, oh, I'm okay. You can't, you know, worry about your defaults and your defects, because you know what? Stephen Hawking, if he would have done that, we would have had a lot less intelligence going on. Because Stephen Hawking was in a wheelchair after a certain point where he couldn't speak. What if he says, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, I can't do this, and I started adding negativity to himself. And then all of a sudden, all of our theories of relativity and space and time and all these different things don't exist because he decided to go and hit a pity party. But you've got mobility in your legs. You can read, you can talk, you have no problem. And you're adding in because your boyfriend broke up with you. Or because you can't get the money you want. Oh, and last thing I got for you real quick. People will pay you on your value. I need you to keep that in mind. A lot of people complain about how much money they're making or not making and why they can't find the right job, because you have not added enough value in your life for them to promote you from one level to the next. Value matters. The numbers, they want to put value. They want to give more money. They want to do that. But if you're not willing to add value to the company, why are they going to pay you more? You're a peon. You don't pay pigs more. You treat pet pigs differently, but regular pigs that you go to send to slaughter, they don't treat them the same. So add value. A pet pig adds value to a family. A regular pig adds food on the table. So don't be dismissible. Don't be rejectable. Don't be something that people can get rid of or see no value in and can pay minimum wage. And stop complaining because you're not making enough money. Oh, they never give me a raise. Well, you haven't added enough value to your life. Done. Add value. Start adding value to their lives. Start adding value to the company. Start adding value to everything. Start adding value to yourself and watch what happens then. Because here's what's going to happen. You add value to yourself. Even if they don't give you a raise, you're going to start attracting the right people. You're going to attract the Mike Browns and the Lionel Stokeses. You're going to attract the Michelle Pilases and the Lauren Patels and the Todd Rose, and the Valerie Brassos. These are just some of my powerhouses, and I had to add value to myself to get it hold up. But I'm telling you right now, you have all the value you need inside of you. But it's always up to you to go get it. It's up to you to add value. It's up to you to not let somebody come into your life and add a negative 10. See them for what they are. And if you know what they are, get away from them as fast as possible. Because the longer you stay there, the less value they're gonna keep taking away from you. And all these people are doing right here, this is the last thing I'll show you. I keep saying it's the last, I promise you it's the last thing. These people right here, these negative 10s, actually go here. First thing, the people who are plus 10s, they're givers. They're giving to you. But these are the people that you need to stay away from. These people right here, those are the takers. Stay away from the takers. Stay away from the people who bring your energy down. Take away from people who are your emotional triggers. Stay away from people who don't give you what you want and what you need in life. Notice the takers. Notice the takers wholeheartedly and run from them. Because all they're here to do is to suck energy out of you, and once they get your energy and you don't have enough to give them, they move on to the next. And then once again, now you're a negative 5. You're a negative 5. They've done sucked all the energy out of you, so now you're a negative 5. You have no more energy. You're not searching for anything. You're just sad. You're not adding any quality, and you will stay a negative 5. Math and life are very similar with energy, so that's all I wanted to show you. That's it. Thank you for staying, guys. It's been 20 minutes. I love math. I used to be a math teacher, if you guys didn't know. So I really love math. This is it. This is what it is. So this is your value. This is your inner value as in a physical example. And you know we always go back to the image to show it again. If you don't know your own value, somebody else will tell you your value, and it'll be a lot less than your worth. Don't be worth less, because you're worth so much more. And I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Happy Monday.